Transitioning from the challenges faced by McDonald's, Shake Shack is navigating its own path in the competitive quick-service restaurant (QSR) landscape. While McDonald's grapples with shifting consumer sentiments and economic factors, Shake Shack presents a compelling narrative of expansion and strategic initiatives. In the face of hurdles like rising beef prices and minimum wage increases, Shake Shack's growth-oriented approach, technological advancements, and marketing strategies offer a contrasting perspective. Let's delve into the dynamics of Shake Shack's unique position, dissecting its opportunities, challenges, and the overall outlook in the QSR industry. Let's talk Shake Shack. This isn't just your regular burger joint, it's got some real expansion mojo happening. Sure, there are some bumps in the road like beef prices playing hard to get and minimum wages doing their upward dance. But here's the scoop on why Shake Shack might just be your golden ticket in the quick-service restaurant game. Meet the cool kid on the block. Shake Shack isn't your run-of-the-mill burger spot. It's like the James Bond of burger joints. Fancy, a bit posh, and definitely not your average greasy spoon. They're famous for their top-notch burgers, milkshakes to die for, chicken sandwiches that'll make you forget the others exist, bites, fries, hot dogs, and even some frozen custard. Oh, and did I mention they're in the alcohol game too? Yeah, they've got some spots where you can sip on a cold one. Let's talk numbers. As of the end of Q3, Shake Shack had its cool vibes spread across 495 locations. They own and run 280 of these in the US, licensed 39 domestically, and threw in 176 international hotspots for good measure. Now here's where it gets interesting. Shake Shack doesn't just make money from burgers and shakes. Nope, they rake in the cash through initial territory fees, opening fees, and those sweet royalties based on sales from licensed joints. The good, the bad, and the yummy. Back in August, there were some worries about Shake Shack feeling the heat from dropping prices and the economic vibe. Turns out the worries were kind of like that boogeyman under your bed. No real threat. The US economy kept its groove despite inflation doing its thing, and some white-collar folks getting the boot. People kept munching on those burgers, and guess what? The restaurant sales kept climbing for 10 straight months. Even after adjusting for inflation, sales shot up by 4.2% over the last 10 months. That's no small feat. The hurdles in the menu. But let's not pretend it's all rainbows and milkshakes. The fourth quarter is playing hard to get, transitioning from high single-digit price hikes to more typical low single-digit ones. Still, Shake Shack isn't just sitting back. They threw a 5% price hike on third-party delivery in January. Why? Well, those delivery apps don't run on goodwill, and folks seem cool paying a bit extra for doorstep convenience. The spice in the mix, inflation drama. Now here's where the beef comes in, literally. Beef prices, which make up a good chunk, 25 to 30% of Shake Shack's food costs, decided to do a mid-teens cost increase dance in Q4. So is it a buy? Despite the inflation tango and beef price ballet, Shake Shack is making moves. With a killer expansion story, it's priced just right for growth lovers in the QSR world.
Every day at every Shack, when people line up to come get a Shack burger, it blows us away.
I was so excited.
Shake Shack is an experience. That's all part of the community gathering that Shake Shack brings together.
It's for the burger, but it's not just for the burger, it's for you guys.
When I first got into the restaurant business in 1985, it was really to satisfy an entrepreneurial itch. After 10 years of operating just Union Square Cafe, my career would be one restaurant after the next that was one of a kind. And then accidentally, Shake Shack happened.
Shake Shack was born as a hot dog cart with the sole purpose of supporting an art project in Madison Square Park in 2001.
This little hot dog cart would attract a line of 60 or 70 people. And in 2004, we finally said, let's turn this into a full kiosk and let's add burgers and shakes. Lo and behold, 100 people would wait in line.
When we opened the second Shack, we realized this was something special.
I'm so excited about this. Shake Shack!
Hey, Shake Shack, bam!
Okay, now you're talking.
See?
It's pretty unusual for an international chain of restaurants to have been born in New York City. What's even more exceptional is for that chain to have been born from a fine dining restaurant company.
The core menu of Shake Shack is very simple. It's burgers, dogs, shakes, and fries. We were going to be the community gathering place of your neighborhood and bring back that old roadside burger stand feel.
It's not just about burgers. It's about a brand that's got room to grow. Keep an eye on this one. It might just be your next favorite stock. Your love for a good beefy burger is strong. But guess what? The beef cattle population isn't keeping up. So, while you're still craving that juicy patty, there's a bit of a shortage. It's simple supply and demand, fewer cows, same big appetite. And here's the kicker. It takes years to beef up the cattle herd. Now, on to the wage hustle.
Millions of Americans ringing in the new year with a raise. From coast to coast, a near record number of states are increasing their minimum wage. California is leading the way after Governor Gavin Newsom signed legislation to boost pay for fast food and healthcare workers.
Minimum wages are on the rise in 2024, causing a bit of a shake-up. In 22 states, the minimum wage got a bump. Fast food workers in California are scoring big, hitting $1.20 an hour come April. Great news for them, but for Shake Shack, with about 44 spots in California, it's a cost challenge. But hey, it's not all sizzle and no steak. Shake Shack is still rocking the expansion game. In 2023, they opened 40 new spots and licensed around 40 more. And get this, they plan to do the same dance in 2024. But here's the cool part, they're not even in 17 states yet. There's room to grow, my friend. I'm talking 1,500 to 2,000 Shake Shacks across the US and California. Brace yourself. It could see 8 times more Shake Shacks than it does now, giving In-N-Out a run for its money. Now let's talk tech. Shake Shack isn't stuck in the past. They're all about those kiosks. Almost every spot has them now, and it's not just for show. Last quarter, those digital wonders helped jack up their margins by a cool 400 basis points. But wait, there's more. Marketing is the name of the game in 2024, and Shake Shack isn't missing the memo. They're cranking up the marketing machine, making sure you don't forget about those mouth-watering burgers and shakes. So, while beef prices might play hard to get and minimum wages do their dance, Shake Shack is still in the ring, throwing punches with expansion, tech, and a whole lot of marketing swagger. In a calculated move, Shake Shack appears to be gearing up for a marketing makeover. While the brand has successfully etched its identity in locations like New York, its recognition isn't universal. Unlike seasoned marketing maestros like McDonald's, Shake Shack seems poised to elevate its marketing game, leveraging its size and potential. Switching gears to the financial front, the stock currently trades at roughly 23 times the 2024 EBITDA, a consensus of $153.7 million, and almost 19 times the 2025 consensus of $186.1 million. With a projected 15% revenue growth for this year and the next, Shake Shack holds its own in comparison to traditional burger chains, albeit at a premium, but still at a discount to faster-growing quick-service restaurants. Taking a deeper dive into valuation, factoring in the anticipated growth, the company's worth is estimated at about 15 times, which hovers around $276 million, translating to a valuation of approximately $1.95. Acknowledging the upcoming CEO transition, with Randy Garutti leading the helm until a suitable replacement is found, industry expectations point towards a strong candidate pool for this coveted role. With a positive long-term outlook, the recommendation stands at a confident buy, accompanied by a target price of $1.95. Shake Shack seems poised to stride forward with renewed vigor. Now, let's talk about McDonald's. McDonald's faced its most significant stock decline in over a year after revealing Q4 earnings, ushering in a cautious outlook for comparable store sales growth in 2024. CEO Chris Kempczinski acknowledged the shift, anticipating a return to pre-COVID norms. Operating margins for 2024 are predicted to align with 2023, even with regional sales challenges in the Middle East and France linked to geopolitical events. On Wall Street, reactions were mixed. Citi analyst John Tower expressed concern about the impact on global restaurant chains affecting companies like Restaurant Brands International, Domino's Pizza. TD Cowen analyst Andrew Charles highlighted satisfaction with McDonald's 2024 margin outlook, exceeding estimates. Bank of America emphasized the positive impact of McDonald's accelerating the Arches initiative in streamlining expenses. The ripple effect was evident in the market, with McDonald's shares down 3.69% and various other restaurant stocks experiencing declines, including Cracker Barrel, Red Robin, Shake Shack, Jack in the Box, and others. The Advisor Shares Restaurant ETF mirrored the trend with a 1.25% decline. The industry seems to be navigating through a challenging period as consumer behaviors and economic factors reshape the landscape. McDonald's is on an impressive streak, surpassing earnings estimates for 8 consecutive quarters. Despite a slight revenue miss of $40 million in Q4, there was an 8% year-wide increase, showcasing an overall annualized revenue jump of 10%. What's particularly commendable is the nearly 25% year-wide surge in operating income, signaling efficient and disciplined operations throughout the year with flat operating costs. The retirement of 8.2 million shares in 2023, a 1.11% year-wide reduction, not only enhances shareholder value, but also saves the company around $55 million annually in dividend. The robust free cash flow, FCF, of $7.25 billion in 2023, a remarkable 32% year-wide increase, contributes to a comfortable FCF-based payout ratio of 67%. However, as Q4 reflects a business-as-usual scenario, the comparable sales boom of 2022 might not be replicated in 2024. While the US and developed international markets saw over a 4% year-wide increase, developing international markets experienced a mere 0.70% growth, hinting at macro challenges for 2024. With the stock trading at a trailing multiple of 26 and a forward multiple of 25, caution is advised, especially as the yield barely holds its 5-year average. Long-term debt is on the rise, reaching $37.1 billion, and the increasing interest expense demands careful observation. While the forward multiple in the early 20s is the preferred entry point, vigilance is key, with an eye on potential aggressive buying at around $260. The buy rating is maintained, but with an acknowledgement of its weak status, and a breach of $330 might trigger a downgrade to hold.